Hello YouTube, I'm Amber, this is Amber Online, and today we're going to be talking about Walt Disney's Frozen and why it's awesome and why I believe it represents the changing roles of women in society. Yeah, it's pretty heavy for a cartoon. Go to intro. You know what? No time for intro. I'm going to try and do this in 5 minutes or less. You know why? Because I decided so. So Frozen is a movie about magic, princesses, a faraway land that appears to be Nordic based on the names, and ultimately it's a story about familial love, which is why I think it represents a change in social values for women according to Disney. The story starts off where you have these two sisters. One has magical powers. She ends up hurting her sister, and then, she has to have her memory of the magic lost, and then the older sister Elsa is trying to control her magic, and the younger sister Anna is not aware of it, and this drives a rift between them when they used to be really close, and the parents died because Disney princesses have to be orphans, just like they have to be, or have absentee parents. There's just like no parental supervision for Disney characters at all. It's just none. So Anna is excited to rejoin society as her sister's coronation approaches, and Elsa is afraid because she can't really control her magical powers, and of course something bad happens, and Elsa's powers get out of control, and she has to run away, and Anna goes after her. Now, rather than the typical Disney plot that is solely about a romance between two characters, between your Disney princess and your Prince Charming, this is a story about a much more sisterly love. And I believe this trend started in Disney with Brave, where women were no longer just marriageable objects, but they were mothers and daughters and sisters. They weren't just wives. They were women, they were people. And particularly because you have Emerda in Brave who doesn't want to get married at all, which is totally bucking the trend for Disney princesses. And now you have Anna who wants to get married, and they in fact mock the idea that she falls in love with her Prince Charming in a day and she wants to marry him, which is, Sleeping Beauty had one dance in a garden. Ariel saw Eric on a beach. He wasn't even conscious, really, at the time, and she wanted to marry him. And typically, your plot of the Disney movie is then the obstacles they face are in the way of them getting to that marriage, as opposed to them having real lives with real-life obstacles. It's just they can't get married, and that's the worst thing ever, and they can't get to Prince Charming. Whereas you have in Frozen, you have this magical conundrum, and the kingdom's been frozen, and Anna has to find her sister to save the kingdom, to thaw it out, and she has to rebuild this bond with her sister. It has a lot of colorful characters and adult humor, and the snowman companion is really, really cute. Your steed companion in the reindeer is really cute, and there's I've said before, and that's why I'm not really critiquing the romance of Disney movies, because nobody makes a man like Disney. Disney knows how to make a good man. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I'm just attracted to princess, whatever. But they still have the romantic elements that people like to see. They still have this sort of coming together of two characters and the conflict there, but the central conflict is not about that. It's about repairing the rift between these two sisters. And I think that's really nice because it indicates really how society have changed based on the roles of women. It's no longer just about finding a husband. The central conflict in your life as a woman has never been about just finding a husband. But Disney movies, and indeed a lot of media targeted at girls, have been about that. And now we see that it's about finding your place in the world, particularly with Elsa, who's trying to overcome these struggles with her powers, and she isolates herself from the rest of society, and then she tries to reintegrate into it. She's trying to find her place in the world, and she does so successfully through the love of her sister, not through the love of a man. And Anna is trying to find out where she belongs in reintegrating into society when she's been kept out of it for so long. And she also does that through finding this reconciliation with her sister and her role as a princess. And she may fall in love during the course of that time, but that is not the central focus of her story. And in fact, the ending of the movie subverts that expectation that it will become the central focus, and it places the focus elsewhere. And I think this is true of a lot of female-centered media right now, like My Little Pony. It's about friendship. It's not really about love, because that is no longer the goal for women. Now that we can have, equal pay and equal jobs, we need to find our place in the world. We don't just need to find our place in a man's bed. So, well done, Frozen. This is an interesting trend that started with Braid and is continuing on. I would never... I love love. You've seen my other videos, but I would be excited to see where they go with this. I don't want them to eliminate the romantic aspect because I do enjoy that, but I think it's a really positive message. And my 5 minutes is coming up, so I will see you later. Bye.